So I told my brother that I swore on my life I would make this video and I would stop procrastinating. So I finally got myself to do it. But the reason I'm recording is to talk about something that's very interesting and important, because there is a prevalent myth that is not serving us, that a lot of people live their life according to, and that is the myth of being undeniable. So the myth of being undeniable. So it's this idea that if you work hard, you will come out on top and you will be undeniable and you will achieve your goals. So for a long time, my goal was to be a director at Pixar. I just thought that if I was the hardest worker and I had the best portfolio, surely eventually I would get hired. And then I would get an internship, and then a job, and then a better job, and then finally I'd achieve my dreams of being a director. But the problem is, life does not reward hard work, because there are so many people in the world that work hard. And sometimes you're just at the wrong place, wrong time. And right now, more than ever, I am at the wrong place, wrong time, wrong generation. Long story short, right now, the entertainment industry is broken. The companies that used to make movies or TV shows just do not have the money anymore. They've run out of money. They're making such less projects. They've laid off most of their employees. They just don't have the bandwidth to hire new people, much less keep people hired. And I think it's confusing because my school would bring in these alumni to talk, like Domi Shi or Maggie Kane, and they would say, look at these people who went to this school, and they made it out of Canada to directing in the United States, and you can too. It's no, if these people had graduated today, they wouldn't be able to have this career. And it's not because jobs are scarce or competitive or anything. It's because literally the internship or the job they got as their entry-level position is no longer sponsoring Canadians or work visas, or the program has just been cut off completely. These methods do not exist anymore. And I've had to understand that no matter how hard I work, I cannot change the situation of immigration or the economy. So there's been this downturn in the industry since 2023. And whenever I'd ask professors or animation professionals, what do I do? They would say, just keep waiting until things will turn up and be fixed. And that was 2023, and then 2024 went by, and 2025, and now 2026. So I just kept waiting and waiting until I realized that things are not going to improve. They're actually just going to get worse. And all I had to do to realize this was literally just look around, because people don't need TV and movies anymore when everything they could want is on their phone. So it's almost of course the film business is declining. People don't even need this business anymore. So because of this reality, I've kind of had to give up my dream of directing at Pixar before I've even started. And usually there's so much stigma around giving up on your dream because it's oh, you should have just worked harder, you should have just tried harder. So even if jobs are scarce right now, that's just a bigger reason for you to try harder and be the hardest worker. And if you're the best, you will come out on top of this difficult situation. But it's no, this actually is not some temporary economic or job collapse. This is a permanent change fundamentally in this industry of how people watch content. So no, I'm not going to keep working towards my dream of directing at Pixar if the system in which that job exists is currently crumbling. But the situation is not hopeless. So I thought to myself, what is the goal behind the goal? Why did I want the job of working at Pixar? And the real desire behind that idea was I wanted to do storytelling. I wanted to have creative freedom and put together a story that I thought was important. So if the real goal was storytelling, there is so many other ways to do that right now, that don't require working within the industry. And right now, the best way to do that is the internet. And usually when people think of social media, they think of like lowbrow, like cheapo content. And they think like movies is like the high art. So I have to change my thinking that the internet is actually just a place to hold content. And anything of any quality, like important stories, can go online. So there is so many upsides to using social media instead of working within the industry to tell the story you want to. First reason, one, no gatekeepers. You don't have to start in an entry-level position in a studio and work your way all the way up and beg for a show. Like if you want to publish something, you can just do it on your own online. Two, it's accessible to watch. Anyone can watch this easily. They don't have to buy a ticket or a streaming service. The audience will watch it first, and if they like it, that's when they support it financially. But there are also downsides to using social media. First, the budget. Content online is inevitably going to be lower budget, so lower quality in terms of visually or the writing. Two, okay, and this is the main one, this is the biggest one, is not having validation from a company. So I kind of realized that all my life I have been preparing to be chosen by a company. Like I so badly wanted someone to say, "We want you, we pick you, we love you, we think you're important." Like I so badly wanted to be a part of something bigger, and the path of being online does not get that kind of validation. But it's like realistically, less and less people in the world are getting that kind of validation from a company. Like more people are having shorter contracts and getting laid off. People don't have a sense of belonging in a company anymore. So I've sometimes heard the criticism that, well, it's good that some artists can use social media to uplift themselves. It's not fair if these influencers get prioritized over artists who are hardworking, good at what they do, and have an important story to tell. But the reality is we live now with the internet, and networks will no longer choose what we watch. It's going to just be the audience. So if the audience feels more familiar with a content creator than some artist who has never posted online before, they're going to support the person who is more accessible and familiar to them. So a lot of people, including me, have had to grieve this promise, like the idea that you will start as a small, struggling artist and you'll just keep working, and one day you will get picked up by a studio and swept into opportunity. But this is the reality of our present day. People don't get swept into opportunity anymore by studios. Being a content creator and putting yourself out there online is going to become mandatory for people who are artists. And I actually see this as a positive thing in an industry that was so long known for being gatekeepy and a boys' club. Like now there is no barrier for anyone to put their work online. So realizing this, I've basically had to change everything of what I've been doing. And I think the most difficult part is that the systems in place try to tell you the opposite. Like, for example, in animation school, presented with the industry collapsing, the message is just put your head down and work hard and have the best portfolio to prepare yourself for the animation industry. And it's like, what industry? Like 90% of people in our local industry are unemployed right now. Like the industry is currently failing. We don't even know if it's going to be here in the future. And I think that is the most dangerous message. The message to not think critically. The message to just put your head down and work hard and it'll all turn out. Because it always worked in the past, so it'll probably work in the future. So I've had to promise myself that I will focus on the bigger picture. Even when everyone who I trust and these like sources of authority tell me the opposite or tell me what to spend my time on, I have to trust that I've done the research. Like I know what's important. And in this present day, what's important is not working towards an industry that is failing. It's creating something new.